Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and when I saw that Aldi and Walmart both had their own Thanksgiving dinner menus for $40, I thought to myself, I have to do a budget Thanksgiving video and try to beat their prices. Now, last year I made a budget Thanksgiving video for $35 in which I included milk, butter, and eggs, which you would use for different meals, different recipes for the dinner. But in order to compare apples to apples and to compete with them, this year I'm not gonna include the prices of butter, milk, and eggs just because they didn't include it either. I will link that video that I made last year in the description, so if you want to go back and watch it, you can watch it and see how I'm gonna make things different this year. So my goal is to stay around the $30 price point for all the groceries. Of course, again, excluding spices, oil, and milk, egg, and butter. So let's go to Aldi and shop. I'm here, I just parked. The reason why I'm doing this at Aldi and not at Walmart is because I originally was planning to do it from Walmart, but I did price comparison and most of the items are much cheaper at Aldi. So that's why I'm at Aldi, and I'm gonna take you along with me throughout the shopping as much as I can, and then we can go back and start making our Thanksgiving dinner. So the first thing I'm grabbing are these Hawaiian rolls. There's 12 of them. I'm also grabbing a can of pumpkin puree for the pumpkin pie, and I was just reading the instructions and the recipe to see if I need to grab something from the store. I'm also grabbing a can of evaporated milk and a bag of mini marshmallows for the sweet potato casserole, 2 boxes of shells and cheese, and again, I looked at the recipe. I've never made boxed mac and cheese or boxed mashed potatoes, honestly, so I had to look up the recipes on the boxes. I'm also grabbing 2 boxes of mashed potatoes, and 2 boxes of chicken stuffing, a can of cream of mushroom soup for the green bean casserole, 2 cans of green beans for the green bean casserole, a can of yams, I also grabbed a can of cranberry sauce, two packs of gravy mix, and then I didn't want a big turkey, and this was the smallest one that I found. It was 11 pounds and 30 ounces and it was $8.71. And then I grabbed a pack of the frozen pie crusts, also a can of French fried onions. The last thing I grabbed was a bag of mixed frozen veggies. These are everything that I got. 2 boxes of mashed potatoes, a can of cranberry sauce, 2 cans of cut green beans, a can of pumpkin puree, a can of cream of mushroom soup, evaporated milk, French fried onions, a can of yams, 2 boxes of stuffing, and 2 boxes of shells and cheese, a bag of mini marshmallows, 2 packs of the gravy mix, Hawaiian rolls, a bag of frozen veggies, the turkey, and the pie crusts. Okay, so I'm starting with the turkey because it's gonna take the most time. I took out all the like the neck and stuff from the inside. I did that in the sink. I only left the pop-up timer thing over here. So everyone has their own way to cook the turkey. I'm gonna cook it in one of these plastic bags. So it usually comes in a box of 2 bags, and you can find these at Walmart, and also Dollar Tree sells them around Thanksgiving time. So you'll get 2 bags for $1.25. It also comes with the wrapper that you're gonna wrap the bag with. So okay, so to start off, we have butter. I have here softened stick of butter. So I am using salt, pepper, 7 spices, and paprika. You can use whatever spices you have, but obviously you're gonna need butter. So I'm gonna season my butter. And you have to be very generous with the seasoning. Salt, pepper, seven spices, and paprika. So I'm just gonna rub the turkey with the butter. I'm gonna also go in as much as you can. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it in the bag, in the plastic bag. I'm just gonna put the remaining butter with it. Now I'm gonna make 6 holes in the bag. So I already did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm gonna put it in the oven on 325 degrees. So now I'm making the pumpkin pie. So I have here 3/4 cups of sugar. I'm basically following the recipe on the can that they have, but I'm substituting all the spices for pumpkin spice. So they're saying you need cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg. I'm just using pumpkin spice and just following the rest of the recipe. So I'm gonna add 2.5 teaspoons of pumpkin spice to the sugar. This is 3/4 cups of sugar. Okay, roughly. And I need about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. There you go. Okay, so I have the pie crust. I'm gonna put it in the pan. So as per the recipe, I have 2 eggs here. And I have the mixture with the sugar and pumpkin spice and salt. I'm gonna add that to the egg. I also have the pumpkin puree. I'm gonna add to the bowl. Okay. I'm gonna mix everything and start adding the milk, the evaporated milk. You want to heat up your oven to 200 and I mean 425 degrees. So now I poured in the evaporated milk. So I'm just gonna pour it in the dough. And I'm gonna put this in the oven on 425 degrees for 15 minutes as per the recipe. And then after the 15 minutes, I'm gonna lower the heat to 350 degrees and bake it for an additional 40 to 50 minutes. That's what it says on the can, so I'm just following the recipe. And here's the pumpkin pie fresh out of the oven. So for the mac and cheese, mashed potato, and the gravy, I'm just following the instruction on the packages. Food? Yes, food? Yes, it's food, mommy. And hi food. And for the, you want to kiss the food? Okay, okay. Um, so I had purchased 2 boxes of mashed potatoes, but I'm not going to use both because it's going to be too much. But in the price, I obviously, you saw me purchase 2, so that's included in the price. Food? The 2. Yes, it's food. So this is for the mashed potatoes. I added some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I'm also making the gravy at the same time. So the mashed potato is ready. Also the gravy and the mac and cheese. So now I'm making the sweet potato casserole. I have the 19-ounce can of yams here. I drained it. So I'm going to put it in a bowl. I am adding 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Those are all things that I had in my pantry. So 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can also add vanilla extract to this, but I'm not gonna do that. A teaspoon of salt, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I have here about 4 tablespoons of butter. It's a little soft. This also would be a good time to turn your oven on to 375 degrees. So I'm mashing the mixture with a potato masher. And it's pretty easy to mash. So I'm just gonna spray my casserole dish with a nonstick spray. And then pour in the mixture that I made evenly. So now I'm gonna add the marshmallows on top. So I'm going to put this in the oven on 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now we're going to make the green bean casserole. So I have an 8x8 dish here. I'm going to pour in the 2 cans of cut green beans that I drained. I'm also going to add the cream of mushroom soup that we got. Condensed cream of mushroom soup. I'm adding 3/4 cups of milk. Along with some salt and pepper. And some of the French fried onions that we got. So not all, probably like half the can. This is a 6-ounce can. So I'm going to mix everything together. So I'm going to bake this in the oven for 25 minutes on 350 degrees. And then after the 25 minutes, I'm going to take it out and top the casserole with the rest of the onions, and then put it back in for another 5 minutes or so. And that's gonna be it for the green bean casserole. So now I'm gonna start making the stuffing. I have a big pan here. I'm gonna put half a stick of butter, about 1/4 cup of butter, and so I'm gonna melt the butter. I have the frozen veggie that I got here. I just steamed it in the microwave just so it could be faster. I'm running low on time now. So now that the butter has melted, I'm gonna add the veggies that I already steamed. If you didn't steam them, you have to saute them in the butter. And then I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. You can also use broth, but I didn't buy broth, so I'm not going to use any broth for this one. That's the timer for the sweet potato casserole. So I'll check on that in a minute. I'm also, since I don't have broth, I'm using chicken bouillon. So a couple of teaspoons of chicken bouillon. I'm gonna add some garlic powder and salt and pepper. I have to bring this to a boil. Season your food. Season it. You're gonna need seasoning. It doesn't matter if the stuffing mix has already seasoning. It's gonna taste better if you season it. So I'm gonna bring this to a boil, and I'm gonna check on the sweet potato casserole. So here's the sweet potato casserole. It's done. So this is boiling, so I'm gonna remove it from the heat. I made space over here. Go. So now I'm gonna mix the stuffing mix, the two boxes that I got. So each one is 6 ounces. So basically I have here 12 ounces. Okay, I'm gonna cover it and let it sit for about 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, I'm checking on it and it's definitely done. And this was a very fast way of making stuffing, and honestly it was very delicious. So it's been 25 minutes. I'm gonna add the French fried onions on top and put it back in the oven for an extra 5 minutes or until the onions are crispy. Well, not crispy, they're already crispy. Toasted. So the green bean casserole is ready too. Here's my perfectly cooked turkey, golden brown on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside. Here's our Thanksgiving table with the turkey in the center and all the classic Thanksgiving sides surrounding it with the cranberry sauce and the rolls and our dessert. Everything tasted great, and this is my plate. Well, this was my first plate that I made for myself. And here's the pumpkin pie. It turned out great, smooth, creamy, and just delicious. So the total I spent on this dinner, excluding butter, eggs, and milk, and some spices, which you're gonna need for sure, it was $32.10. Now you can be asking yourself, why go through all the trouble of planning if you can just get like the Aldi meal, for example, for $40? Well, the reason for that is you might need the $8 to get the eggs or the milk or the butter. So that way you have more room to play. And also, if I would do it all over again, I don't think I would purchase 2 boxes of mashed potatoes. I think one is more than enough. But if you're trying to feed more people, maybe the 2 boxes would work. So yeah, that was the video for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, and give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you would have done different if you were you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Bye.